the world's greatest movies and reviews. Your boy Captain Mal here, and today I'm joined by
Weapon 2
and
your boy T Crawler.
And we are going to give you our official review for Brightburn. So, Weapon 2, why don't you tell the
Brightburn!
What is the Brightburns about?
Oh, me? We're talking to me?
Yeah.
This thing. Brightburn is an interesting concept on the superhero genre. In fact, I would go as far as to say this is more a horror movie starring a superhero type person than a superhero movie. I applaud the concept, the whole idea behind it. I think it was a good movie. I just think that I wish there was a whole lot more that they gave me, because I think I saw everything I needed to know about the movie in the previous.
Yeah, so as always, we'll keep this first part spoiler free. We'll give you a spoiler alert when we get going. But what did you think, though? Did you like it?
Not really.
For real? You didn't like it?
There's things that I liked about it, but I was kind of, I don't know. We're doing spoiler free, so at first, I mean, I went into it with some of the things that happened. I was like, okay, well, they're just really getting started right away, and they're skipping a lot of things that a lot of other movies would do, as far as like more character development, what's going on with this and that. And I was like, okay, cool. But then later on, there's like some spots that were too slow. I'm like, okay, you started with all this stuff. It's really, it's going. Now it's slow, and it's like, and so it was up and down, and it was like, and then by the end, I'm like,
See, so I kind of agree with your overall thoughts, and yours also. It was kind of But it was different for me because I felt like the beginning of the movie was go, 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 go.
Right.
But like you said, that was everything in the trailers. Like, I would almost have wished I never saw a trailer for this, then I'd probably be really into it. But almost every scene that happens for the first 2/3 of the movie is everything in the trailers. Mm-hmm. So like it was moving quick, but like nothing was terribly interesting. And then at the end, some stuff started happening, but by the time the climax was happening, I was just kind of like, I was already kind of like checked out. Like, the movie was boring to me.
yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, I was like,
whenever I sit next to you in a movie and you're shifting different positions on your seat and you're not like just on the edge of your seat, I'm like, okay. And you even checked your phone, so I'm like, yeah, he's not.
I checked my phone for work because I needed to make sure I wasn't going to get called to go to work. Thank you very much.
All right.
Although I did it more than I probably needed to.
Be responsible.
But yeah, it was like, I didn't like dislike the movie. I didn't hate it or anything. It was just not that great. I agree. I feel like this is something like it's an interesting concept, a very interesting concept, but I feel like you don't need to go to theaters to watch it.
Weapon 2 said, it was more of a horror movie than an evil superhero. And we were so excited, like our trailer reviews, or our reaction, we were like excited to see this, and then we get there like.
That's why it's disappointing, because I feel like it had potential to be a really interesting idea, but it did. It just went straight horror movie.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad that it was a horror movie.
No.
This is the problem. This is what I wanted. I saw a whole bunch of cool stuff. Believe me, I was really excited about this movie.
Yeah, we all were.
And I saw a lot of cool stuff that made me interested in it. What I wanted to see when I went and saw the movie was a whole bunch of new stuff that I didn't even see coming, that would kind of blow my mind and make the story just more kind of amazing and cool. You're right, there wasn't a lot of character development.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to try to want to get from point A to point B pretty quick. And I think they could have done a lot of better things with this, cooler things with it. And I think that, from what I can tell, looks like they're trying to set up for a sequel. Mm-hmm. But they could have done a whole bunch more to make you set up for a sequel.
And going on the character development thing, you're like, part of the problem was like I didn't care about anybody in the movie. No, right. So when he finally starts killing people, I'm like, yeah, it didn't like I didn't care.
You can see the parallel with Superman without saying Superman. Like, it's Brightburn, Kansas instead of Smallville. Yeah. His name's Brandon Breyer instead of Clark Kent. It's just like there's similarities without them actually saying, "Oh, this is Superman if he's evil."
The best character development in that movie was the baby scenes when he was a baby and he's growing up, and they're showing the bond between his mom and his parents and him, and how they're just a great family. That was the most that was the deepest character development in the entire
Am I the
movie.
only one though that was just like, that's a creepy looking baby? Like even as a baby, he looks creepy.
No,
I thought he looked
And
like
why
a
did he look like a
baby.
little Hitler baby?
He did look like a little baby.
I wanted to say stuff like that, trying to be funny during that part, but here's what it was. It was just a baby. I mean, not everybody thinks that every baby's cute. And the thing is, they started setting it up for a good story, and it started out kind of good, and then it just kind of started
Yeah,
unraveling.
at a certain point, about 2/3 through the movie, when you can tell the third act was kicking off, I was like, okay, literally everything I saw in the trailers has happened.
Yeah.
And this movie needs to wow me now. Like, it needs to give me something that I'm not expecting. It needs to take a good turn in the story. It needs to give me something. And it did.
This is what needed. There needed to be some type of really epic scenes where he was doing some really large scale damage to something. Just something to make it bigger and just add more than what was already in the previews in the trailer.
Yeah.
I gotta wait till the spoiler break.
Okay, so I think our overall consensus was that it's a very interesting concept.
I thought
kind
we
of
were
felt
already
like-
spoiled. I think I'm gonna spoil it.
No,
No,
you
you
haven't. You haven't.
Oh.
So I think the consensus is it's an interesting concept that kind of fell flat on its execution. It's not a bad movie. It's not particularly good. I feel like you don't need to spend your money to go watch this in theaters. I would wait to watch it when you get home.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
it's a little sad because we were all really excited for this.
Damn it, I could have seen
Yeah, I know. I was like, but anyway, so that spoiler alerts. We're gonna dive into the few spoilers that the movie does have. I'll say, aside from a couple of wicked-looking kills that he gets, when he kills the uncle and when he kills the dad, but that was just gore. That was like horror movie. It was just a gore fest.
Yeah. So when he
Well, the waitress was a pretty good one.
But that was in the trailer.
that wasn't the trailer.
It was just a little bit more bloody.
Yeah. So with the whole parallel thing to Superman, it was like when he killed his dad and the IVs went through his head. So that's what it would look like if Superman did that to somebody. Like that's the first thought that came. Like when he did the IVs through the eyes and they got busted through the back of the head. I was like, oh nice. So that's what would happen if Superman got.
Would have happened quicker, in my opinion.
I'm sure.
Well, like how was it? I was just
His
thinking,
head would just.
well, I was just thinking like he's melting the metal doors and it's taking a minute for the.
That's what I was saying.
I'm
What's
like,
taking so long?
Sure.
What's this guy's skull made of?
my thing was like, how the fuck the parents not saying shit when he's like chewing on the fork and
But
like.
that's the dad. He was like the more real type of person. Like the mom was like, oh no,
The mom was
he's not
fucking
this, he's
crazy.
not- and she was pissing me off. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like he's obviously something's wrong with this kid, and the dad was like, something's fucked up with this kid. And it's like
I did love when he shot him in the back of the head. That was fucking awesome.
And he
saw
was
that
like,
guy,
and the kid was like,
It's like, you motherfucker!
what the?
That was
So he
funny.
tries to shoot him again.
Yeah, like, if that's not working, like, you're
I
dead.
mean, they do that to Superman too. Bad guys do that. It's like
Yeah.
bullets bounce off. They still try to shoot him.
Well, and then the thing that was funny too is like when he crushes the chick's hand, the little girl's hand.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, he's the animal. He broke your hand." I'm like, how come no one's asking how the fuck did he do that? It's not like he put her in an arm bar. He just broke the shit with his bare hand.
Oh gosh.
I was like, no one finds that weird.
There was a whole lot of kind of ignoring some obvious signs that this kid is not normal. Where and it's like, they did gloss over a lot of stuff. I was like, wait a minute. Wait, did you guys see that?
Yeah.
It's funny because like his dad asked him to cut the grass, right? He throws a freaking lawnmower, messes it up, right? But
His dad doesn't ask, what the fuck did I do with the lawnmower?
Like if that was my parents, be like,
Yeah.
why is the grass like that? We're not having a birthday party.
Yeah.
Next scene, they're like having a birthday party
Yeah.
in this diner. It's like, what the hell? And then the other part is like, if it's time for school, my mom's gonna be chasing me, trying to find me. She's like, get your ass in here and go to school.
Yeah.
That was just crazy.
They tried to
oh my gosh.
build up gradually the
Oh.
weirdness and like him being defiant and him showing the power, and then they tried to build their fear,
Yeah.
but it did it very clumsily. And like you said, in like scenes that made no logical sense.
Right.
They didn't react the way normal people would react. So by the time he's going serial killer, like I'm just like, well, like it didn't earn it because it didn't progress naturally.
So for me, a lot of the stuff in the end was more interesting. Like we were talking about larger scale stuff. I was like, well, why didn't they show this earlier?
Yeah,
It's just even burning the big ass B, the
Yeah.
the BB symbol, back
Like the
then.
Yeah, all the stuff they were showing in the end credit kind of scenes like
I wanna
that.
watch
I'd
that
like
movie.
to see. I would like to see more of that in the
That's
movie.
exactly it. It's like, hey, let's see him, this little fuck take over the world. Like, that'd be cool. Like, let's watch that movie.
Yeah,
and,
so-
like, I don't know. It just.
But you had an interesting point though when they showed all these little he was talking about all the different monster villains out there.
I told him, I go, they're setting up their superhero universe right here. These are all the other
Brightburn verse.
All right.
Yeah, that's what. Don't go watch it.
Still not as bad as Hellboy.
Nothing's as bad as Hellboy. That might be the worst movie ever. I was so. Have you watched it yet?
No, remember I told you guys I didn't like the first ones. That's what I didn't go.
If you don't like those, you're really not gonna like that one. The new one. But anyway, so that's what we thought of the Brightburns. Kind of disappointed, but I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't like super terrible. It was just
entertaining. For me, the kills were kind of.
The kills were neat. Yeah.
Uncle's jaw was like.
That was fun. That actually made me like. Close my eyes. I was like, holy god, that was pretty rough. But yeah, just okay.
This is what I thought he was gonna do. I thought he was gonna go and start.
Yeah, me too. I thought he was gonna make him talk.
I wonder if they had bloopers like. Let me show you something. Do not pass go.
Alright guys, well as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the subscribe button on the YouTubes. We need to get those numbers up. We've talked about the contest before. You want to plug it again?
We'll give it a break. We'll hit it next time.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Subscribe. Just do it!
Subscribe.
Just subscribe to the YouTube. What's stopping you? Just do it!
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the World's Greatest News and Reviews. Please like and subscribe.
Peace.